Good afternoon and welcome. This is the Town of Fort Myers Beach, Bay Oaks Recreational Campus Advisory Board meeting, commonly known as BORCAB. We are in the Town Hall chambers on Oak Street. The date is Wednesday, February 19th, 2025 at 12:04. Not bad. I'll call this meeting to order. And would you all please rise for our pledge to the flag? It's right behind me. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. At this time, for a roll call, let's just go around the room. And Karen, we'll start over there with you as our council member.
I do actually have a thing. I was looking it up on my phone here. So I got a message. Oh, we're just doing roll call now,
Yeah.
right? Not anything. Oh, Karen
Roll
Whitson.
call.
Sorry, Karen Whitson, Town Council Liaison.
Joy Sullivan.
But I do have a thing to mention.
We weren't gonna stop.
Good.
Let's go over.
Barbara Hill.
Betty Simpson.
John Dislear.
Becky Guidry.
Michelle Turney.
Jeff Hauge.
All right. Very good. So, did you have something you wanted to?
Yeah, I got a message from Mary Torgerson. Hold on one here. She said that, okay, so she had been working with Jesse for Friends Bay Oaks. And Jesse obviously is no longer here, and she said that there is an outstanding check, for $631.50 that has still not cleared the bank. And evidently it was from December of 2023 when we did the Christmas tree festival, and remember we were right in the transition of getting,
The check's going to Friends or coming from Friends?
no, it's coming to Friends
Okay.
that hasn't cleared.
Where
Women's
is it
Club
is the
Bank
question.
So, I mean, I don't know where we are with Friends and everything. I do think that the town, or we have an account.
There is a bank account,
We
but
have
Jesse
a-
and I are the only ones on it right now, so I could deposit something, but
Okay.
I don't know where that check is, cause it wasn't, the bank account was not established at that time.
So maybe
who
I
knows
just
where it
have
went.
them void that check and reissue a new one.
That's what I would
And then I'll
do.
give it to you, Becky, and then
That's
we can
fine.
get it deposited.
It's at Sandcap Bank, so he wants, that's what we talked about last time, he wants to turn it over to somebody, but we don't really know what to do with it, cause he's the main person on it.
Okay,
And he wanted to turn it over to me being the main person, and then we need a secondary, but then it's not supposed to be any of us, so
right,
I don't know where to go from there,
Right.
which is another conversation, I'm sure.
Yeah,
But I
so-
could deposit the money at least.
okay. So let me ask her to reissue the check that nobody knows where that check is,
Okay,
and it hasn't cleared, so I'll ask her to reissue that, and then maybe at another meeting or something, we can get on the agenda what we're gonna do about Friends.
Right.
Okay, that's all I had, thank you.
Okay.
that's good that she noticed that it didn't clear.
Yeah, exactly, so I think they're just trying to get everything in order from all the different events.
Yeah.
But that one is
No telling where
glaringly
it went.
outstanding.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on to item 3, the approval of the minutes of the January 15th meeting. I'd entertain a motion for approval of those minutes.
I so move. Barbara Hill.
Barbara Hill. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion? If not, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, that passes. And at this time, I guess they aren't lined up for us. It would be nice if they were sometime, wouldn't it be? That brings us to our item 7, our staff liaison report.
Yeah, so I sent out the report. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot on there again. but I can give you some updates. A lot of pickleball going on for sure. I've been kind of keeping an eye on it. There has been a number of tennis players as well throughout the day, so just want to report that as well. There's some lessons going on. We do have the after-school program that's still going on. We have about 42 kids that are registered, probably around 30, low 30s that actually attend every day, which is actually a really good number. Still, with them being bused on back to the island, it's still a great number. We're still at the library because Bay Oaks is not quite open yet. I have talked to the insurance company who's redoing Bay Oaks. They think they'll be done by April at the latest. So I do have a meeting with the flooring people and the contractor next week, Monday, the 22nd, in regards to design and that kind of stuff. But it's gonna be pretty basic on there. It's all gonna be epoxy with some paint on there, and then they'll do a clear coat on top, kind of like a extra wax
You're
finish.
talking about the floor in the gym.
Flooring in the gym and everywhere else is all gonna be epoxy.
Okay,
No more tile.
okay.
We just thought we'd, with everything else, we wanna mitigate future damages, so.
So you were, I know during our last meeting, you were talking about possibilities of raising the floor.
Yeah.
So this is the update saying that's off the table.
We haven't heard back from the architect actually, so we don't know what even the costs are gonna be or what that might look like, so. The same architect is working on new town hall, so that took priority, for him, so we'll, we haven't got it back yet, so it's not, I don't think, off the table. We would just have to raise some funds and find out where we can raise the floor, how we can raise the floor, so. It's not off the table, but they can put the second floor, the raised floor right on top of the epoxy anyway, so.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
That'd be good.
yeah.
Are you gonna line it? How are you gonna line it?
Similar to how it was before, I'm gonna think one half of it is gonna be lined more basketball with pickleball lines, of course. And then the other side, I think we're gonna do more pickleball lines with basketball kind of in the background.
I gotcha.
So,
Okay.
I think that'll be nice, cause that way the pickleball players will have that in the inside. And then we'll also put volleyball, in there as well, volleyball lines, so. Nothing too dramatic or drastic, just,
You gonna color code these or what?
yes, it was like that before.
It was.
Yeah.
We had that before, but yeah, we can color code them. I have, there's some good things. The company that's gonna do it has done basketball floors before, or gym floors before, so they have an idea and are gonna come with some design options as well, so.
What happens to the after-school kids when the library opens? Does it
They'll
matter?
still continue to use the upper floors, yeah, cause I think that's March,
I saw it was soon, that's why I was wondering.
middle of March,
I wanna say it's like March 10th,
10th or
Okay,
12th.
I just saw
something
next
like that.
month.
something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, they'll continue to be there, and then hopefully right after that, we'll have the floor in. The only thing that's really need to be done at the rec center, they did all the plumbing, all the electrical's done. They have to put the big air handling units in, yet, and the flooring. Otherwise, it's pretty good, much good to go. We did have some drywall in there that we decided, as far as mitigation, we would put block instead, like underneath the window of the gym, or the fitness equipment. That was drywall around there, and we just kept replacing it, so we ended up doing just brick, so we don't have to pull the drywall next time. Well, if, but we know it's gonna happen again.
Don't
Next
say
time
that.
it does flood, but,
Sunday, March 16th
Okay.
is the open house
yeah,
For
so
the
hopefully
library.
somewhere,
Wait, open house for,
library.
oh, the library.
yeah, and the flooring shouldn't take very long, and they're set to go, the company that they picked, so. Hopefully this will move, a little quicker, getting Bay Oaks open, and we won't have to wait a year and a half to get it open, it'll be a lot quicker, so.
So you say sometime in April it should be
They think
fully
sometime in
operational?
April, yeah,
Okay,
so that's their plan.
Good.
He said he doesn't, as much as he likes it here, he's got other projects, and he doesn't wanna be here in May. Not that he doesn't wanna be here, he just doesn't wanna be doing this project in May, so.
right.
He's trying to get it pushed along as well, so, but there isn't a whole lot left. I think the air handlers, are coming in soon. I saw they just brought the forklift to get them up and raise them, so they're working on raising them, and then, once consoles are in. We can do it without, we can be open without AC too. I mean, the gym wasn't built with AC, so that was an afterthought. So, as long as it's ready to get in, we can get in.
Jeff, before this does open fully and then all the programs are operational, it would seem to me that because you do have activity at Bay Oaks, that the message could be a little more positive, because everything that comes out of the town says Bay Oaks is closed, Bay Oaks is closed. And then at the very bottom, you can see, oh, well, we do have a camp for kids, and we do have pickleball, and we do have tennis. So if you can take that bottom information and put it up at the top to say, yes, while Bay Oaks is officially closed, these are the programs that are actually
Yeah, I'll
happening.
talk to our PIO and get a new message.
It's a perception thing.
You bet.
I agree. Jeff, do we know, we had talked, and it says in the minutes that we're gonna have full courts added. We've got two, I'm gonna say 1.5 operational back there. When are they gonna finish those other courts? We are right now, they're averaging 25 and sometimes as many 35 people back at those pickleball courts.
Ooh.
And, word's out that I'm on the board, and honestly, we've gotta deal with two things. I mean, we've gotta get a bathroom back there. I mean, can't we have a temporary, porta potty until we get a bathroom back there?
There are
Until-
bathrooms up here though.
Yeah, but you lock them. They're locked on the weekends.
They shouldn't be.
They
But I know
are.
that now, cause they're supposed to be open 7 days a week, 7 to 7.
The staff, from what I understand from the staff, they were told that we had issues with potentially people staying in there, so they're
No.
being locked.
Okay, I'll
But-
deal with that one.
Wow,
for sure.
yeah,
Yeah, that's,
that's
I did not know
good.
that they weren't open. They need to be open.
They are, yeah, they are not open. But I don't even know, there's a lot of people having to walk. It is a haul from back at those pickleball courts. We were just talking for 3 months to put a porta potty back there. There's people, it'll help if you can tell us we can have those 24/7, but I just really wanna push to get those courts done. I mean, listening to everybody, I know myself, if I play pickleball here on the island, when I'm done, I stop and get my groceries at Publix, I get my gas at 7-Eleven, and I pick everything I need up at CVS. You get me off the island, and I go run all my errands off of there. And we're here, and you can tell, it's like, wait a minute, too many people, and they're leaving, and they're going to other courts. Because we are really, it is getting backed up back there, and you can tell that by the parking, because we're having to
Yeah.
park over here to get to the pickleball court.
It's season. I'm like, it's busy everywhere. Like everywhere is backed up right
Yes,
now.
and
Well-
I'll
So-
work on those other couple courts. We
Yeah.
did get some feedback that their courts are too close. They only wanted 2. So
They,
that's part of why we didn't quite yet, and because we were just getting the feel of what everyone wanted back there. I did get some feedback that they were too close together. They only wanted 2.
the
So-
issue is with the courts to the west, is they need to be moved over about 2 feet, because they're too close. You can't serve there, but there's an additional 9 feet to the east, so if they were.
Towards the other court, the other
Correct,
tennis
no,
court?
towards the fence.
Oh, okay.
It just needs to be, and I've reviewed this with Glenn, and those other 2
Glenn.
courts, Glenn was back there, well, there was a whole crew back there putting the black, so
Oh.
we taped all, they came in and temporarily taped all 4.
Mhm.
The tape came off in 3 days. As soon as it rained, all the tape came off. So we,
Temporary.
well, but we've got the black tape at 1, and that's
Mhm.
working. So if we could just do the other 3, we're looking at a low investment. I know I'm pushing the pickleball, but I thought it was funny the other day that even like the Sandals Resort is saying, hey, we have pickleball. Pickleball is like a destination want. When people go on vacation, they wanna know that they can go play pickleball somewhere. And, knowing that the courts are available, so I mean, everybody, it's not that big of an expense, including that I would get funding from these folks to have it done, if we've got the permission. I mean, we've been back there, we fixed the nets, we've brought back posts, we've, moved the rock, we've moved the benches, we've cleaned things, I mean, they're really doing everything they can to make that as comfortable as 3 people here.
Yeah, and we just got the new nets in yesterday. So we have brand new nets for you guys.
And that's,
We just gotta find time to put them together.
yeah, and that's, the nets isn't the issue, we're dealing with them, they actually put a ruler in my bag and somebody grabs and adjusts them every day, so we're making do
I
with
believe
it.
these have cranks on them so they can stay tight.
Okay,
We try to put a
so
little
if we
more.
could get the other courts fixed.
Yep. We can work on that.
As a person deeply rooted in aquatics, we envy your problems.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you go to, I know
What a
it's- I
good
know
set
it's
of
different, but
problems.
if, you know, like I said, I go to the Naples, we're by the line, there's people, I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
50, 60 people waiting
Yeah.
for it, so, I mean,
yeah. And then
we're doing our best to get it up, I'll talk to the guys and see if they can reline those
I do have one question,
before we get them permanently.
and it might be preemptive in your report, but do we have plans to cover the outside fitness area
Yes,
and the materials? Cause that would be an incredible effort in the interim while the gym is not open yet.
yeah, and it's busy out there,
Yeah.
so.
But getting a
We
cover
have all
will keep
the,
it,
we have all the
keep it busier
materials,
throughout
we
the
just
day.
called for locates, I think we got our locates last week, so they actually went to go get the sonotube today
Yeah.
for the footers,
Okay,
and then we'll put them in, so
Yeah.
hopefully in the next week or so.
yeah, cause I mean, kind of
Makes a huge difference.
piggybacking on what Barbara said, you know, getting information out, that would be great information too.
Yeah.
That, look at the process and we hope to have this open
Exactly.
on
Well, the beauty is you can see it from the road.
near future.
There were people out there today.
There's a
Yeah.
ton of people out there,
Yeah.
all the time.
But that could be some positive messaging and a great result.
Yeah, once we get it up,
While
we'll
Bay Oaks is
we'll
being
definitely post
worked
it.
on. That's it.
But hopefully in the next, it's just a matter of when the guys, they only have so much time and so many projects, so we're trying to get to it.
Mhm.
I've got shovels.
Again, I know it should be volunteers to take that, if we're okay to do it.
All of the guys, that's our facilities. Alright.
Anything else?
I guess just the redevelopment. Of course, we had to cancel or reject the other bids that we had. It got put out, it's, the intent to put out for bid got put out this week. So hopefully we're meeting with DRMP again to modify the plans again, cause we were grossly over budget to what we have. You know, we have the $1 million grant and the $1 million match, so $2 million total, and our lowest bid was 3.6. So, and we have to hit the criteria that's in the grant that we've talked about before. So we're gonna kind of rethink how we're gonna do it. For instance, now that we're not having a building right now, we don't need as big of a parking lot, which parking was around 700,000 out of the budget for just parking. We can reduce that, obviously, cause since we don't need it there anymore. And for now, we wouldn't even need to do asphalt, I don't think. I think having some crushed shell for now would be fine. If we don't get this done by August 31st, we'll lose that grant. They're not gonna give us another extension. So we're just trying to get something in place where we can get kind of the meat and potatoes of the park done, which would be the multi-purpose field, walking trail. You know, the picnic areas don't have to be big tiki huts, for right now. You know, we can always go out and try to find another grant for that since the money's a little tighter. The pickleball courts are in there, there's 4 of them, and the lighting for that. Pavilion for the pickleball, and what else am I missing one? We already did the playground, we already did the tennis courts. Yeah, I think that's it. So we've been working with DRMP to, you know, cut those costs down a little bit so we can get, right now we're gonna put it out for bid for 2 million max, we just don't have any more money to put to it. So if we can't do the 2 million, then we're gonna have to try to ask the state if we can piecemeal it together, but it's a state and a federal grant passed down through the federal government. So they say we have to follow our procurement policy or their procurement policy, which is go out for bid. Well, if no one bids on it again, it's not like we can just wait. So we're gonna have to maybe ask for permission to kind of piecemeal it, have somebody do the groundwork, do this without bids, or just do quotes instead, so.
So there's no chance that we could actually do some of it ourselves with this process?
Yeah, that was my question too, and actually, Jeff, I just really need to get that figure, but what did the bids come in as, 3-something?
3.6 was the lowest and 6 point something was the highest.
Okay,
And then
so
the other one
let's
was right
say
in the middle.
let's say 3.5 would, or maybe even 4 would be the difference between the 2 and the 4, so it's basically coming up with approximately $2 million.
From what they bid, we're 1.6 million over what we can spend.
But to Karen's point, I mean, you know, it's awful to hear that we could lose that $1 million grant. And so it seems to me that the town could somehow pick up that difference to get this project going. And, you know, maybe with a loan or something, that we could kind of get this ball rolling.
Our
I mean,
hands are
to
kind of
me-
tied with the bridge loan that we got. We can't do capital, and we won't be able to we won't take out another loan, for this project, so.
So we
We're
stand
really
to
capped
lose
at $2
$1
million.
million. We stand to lose $1 million.
No, the hope is we can get it done.
But Barbara, are you saying like, and I thought that's what you were saying, Karen, is like, okay, prioritize the items, right? And just say, okay, for $1 million, we can get X, right?
But we have to, those 5 things have to be in there for the grant.
All 5.
And you're
Oh,
talking about.
actually, there
the-
was 8, but we already took care of 3 of them.
And that, you're talking about the entire complex, you're not just talking about the pool.
That's
Right?
different. Pools, not,
Pool
we're not
is
even talking
Oh,
about
this
pools.
is,
That's
okay,
all.
this
Yep.
is totally separate from the pool.
This is the multi-purpose field, picnic areas, which could be just picnic tables for now. A walking path, which we could do crushed shell instead of some nicer thing for now, and we could always go out and try to get more grants later. Parking was in there, so we gotta do some parking. We have a plan for that, minimal spots by the pickleball. What's the other one? Am I missing one?
But they're saying that we have to go through an RFP process.
Correct, cause it'll be over $75,000.
So that's what's really tying us up, is
Yeah,
this
we already put it out
RFP.
for bid already, and
Right.
we just didn't, the numbers wouldn't work out.
So they're not allowing us, with our people, to do any portion of it. We literally have to go out for bid on it.
I'm
Or
not sure
could
which,
our could our people be the part of the bid process?
Like, do you have to turn in bills after saying this is what you spent, or do you have to turn in
yeah,
proof that
I
you
mean,
did
well,
it?
for instance, we did the batting cage, that was one thing, we needed a new batting cage, so we already built that.
Mm-hmm.
We already built out, resurfacing the tennis court, that was part of the grant that they paid for. The little playground was also part of that grant, so that's already done, we already kinda pieced that together. I just don't know anything in here.
Like, if your guys got the crushed shell and created a walking path themselves, do you just turn in proof that you made the walking path, or do you need like a
Yeah.
bill saying this is our final bill?
So, we got I'm not sure we could do that, just because of the earthwork and the permits that we got from DEP.
Oh,
So there's retention ponds, there's drainage,
yeah.
that's all
Right.
part of
The
this
whole
permit that we
big thing,
spent
yeah.
2 years getting. You
Yeah.
know, it took us 2 years to get the actual permit. So could we?
We don't even have that equipment.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Would the amount of the shell be over 75,000? It might, then we'd have to go out for bid for that.
Right.
I wish it was that easy, for sure.
So
I
you're just
wish.
piecemealing.
We've tried to think of every avenue possible. I mean, can we sub it out ourselves? But then you still have to go out for bid if anything, like the earthwork itself, the field came back, I think the lowest one was 1.2 for just the field. And that's just that's not lighting, that's just the area and the earthwork that goes with it. So, I mean, it's a big area of grass, and
Right.
irrigation would be in there, of course, some fencing, but it's not gonna be a ball field, which I think the ball field was originally, how many years ago that you started this thing, was the ball field was 1.5.
Mm-hmm.
So we tried to at least slim it down even more by not doing, the whole ball field part of it, the ball field lighting, which is 700,000. It all adds up pretty quick, and we have to hit all those parameters of the grant, so it's difficult. Now we were thinking more of a grand scheme of things the first round, and we had extra money, right? We had that extra, I think it was 10 million for the parks, and
Mm-hmm.
that got lost during Ian. So we ended up doing a little bit with Bayside. It was supposed to be for Times Square and our park, which would have included the building. Well, now we're stuck at this 1 million with a 1 million match, so 2 million total. So we put it out for bid. We talked to DRMP yesterday. We have plenty of time. We could put it out in, we did the math, we could put it out in April which we're not. We're gonna do it much sooner than that. With that first week of March, I think we're gonna put the bid out. We can put it out in April and still have enough time to get it done by, August 31st.
August, okay.
Are you saying that that bid that you're about to send out will not include all of these things that are now already done?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So it is a far reduced scope of project?
No, the batting cage was probably about 5,000 out of the 2 million. The tennis courts was minimal for resurfacing. The playground was a couple $100,000. So really,
Nickel and diming it.
nickel and
Yeah.
diming that part of it. So we have the majority of the 2 million left. And if, honestly, if we were able to get our FEMA money right now, it'd be a different story. You know, we just don't, it could be years before we even see that.
Nothing's coming through on FEMA.
Really? I mean,
All the
then,
commitments, everything, that's, nope.
you mean the
that's why we don't-
commitments that we did have, and when did that change?
Well, we still may get it.
It's just been on hold.
Yeah.
It's change of administration, change
Was that
of,
since November, is that what you're saying?
oh, even before
No,
that.
before that. But
We-
they even said it could take 5 to 10 years to get FEMA money.
Right.
They're still getting it for Katrina, that was in 05. It takes
Yeah,
forever.
we were doing, we had closeouts for Katrina and Irma, still, since
Yeah.
I've been here.
I mean, Katrina, they're still.
So that's why, you know,
Katrina?
I hear
In Mississippi and Louisiana, they're
Oh,
still trying to
yeah,
get
for
FEMA money
Irma-
for that.
Irma
For
we
their,
had here,
for their
yeah.
hurricanes, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's disheartening.
20 years
A
ago.
messed up system.
So $2 million, and we probably, I mean, it sounds like an impossible task here.
No, if we, it's called value engineering, it's gonna be on a value plan kind of thing for right now, just to get it, get it done. And then we can apply for other grants to improve it, later on, but
So we're
Yeah,
just
that's-
looking for baseline, basically.
baseline,
So you're going out and you're saying you got $2 million.
yeah,
That's it.
that's all you got, no
Yeah.
change orders, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And we could, I mean, I don't know, we could reduce the number of pickleball courts, but it's not what we wanna do, that's a
Right.
priority.
But you're
So-
just saying preparing the groundwork itself is looking to be close to 2 million. Did you, I mean,
In the initial one,
Yes.
yeah, it was about 1.2.
but
but-
still,
I think there's ways we have all the material now too, so that's the other thing, is that we're getting all the concrete from the Wyndham too.
right.
So out here, we have enough stuff we can crush for that base fill. We don't have to bring
Okay.
in anything anymore,
Okay.
so that's gonna
good.
also reduce the cost. So all that concrete you see will get crushed up and used as fill.
So does the town then hire a crusher? Is that how that works? Or a wood chipper or?
No, it's part of it'll be part of the bid. It'll be part of the
Oh,
bid.
okay, right,
Yep.
wow.
We could, it'd be over 75,000, we know people that can do it. I'd say, I can come do it today, because of the procurement.
The paperwork,
Yeah.
the bureaucracy,
Sure.
yeah.
You say it,
Synonymous.
yeah. So, I know even the contractors, when is this gonna be FEMA money? Like, no, it's not, we don't get that yet, we don't have that, cause it's FEMA money, what does that matter anyway, but, yeah, that's the bummer part of it, for sure. Luckily, do you have any other questions about that?
So we're taking the concrete from the Wyndham is coming here? It's been what, donated?
Well, either they take it off and pay for it, or they drop it off here for free,
Oh.
and then we can use it, so.
Then we can use it, okay.
Yeah, it's
That's
perfect.
good.
And, look at it all out there anyway, it's
Yeah.
a ton, and we've been just stockpiling it for that reason. That's what that's for.
Makes sense.
You bet.
So that's where we sit. Fingers crossed, we'll get somebody to bid on it for 2 million. I think we can reduce it enough. When we start to move things around too much, then it possibly jeopardizes that permit, which took 2 years to get.
So, separate apart from the grants, what is the town, specifically the town council, interested in doing to put this in as a top priority because of a quality of life issue for the residents and visitors? But to me, this is a huge priority, and why is it not being discussed In other words, if we're short of funds, let's make the funds happen. I mean, I know
There's no
there's a
funds.
budget issue, right? But I mean, there's got to be, I've not heard a lot of verbal commitment from council with regard to saying, this is a top agenda item. Maybe the town hall was the top agenda item. Now that the town hall is complete, am I hearing that maybe this is now going to be discussed?
We have a lot of top priorities. Town hall, basically, I mean, we had staff that lobbied for it, you know, with Frankie and Andy for sure, but that got paid for.
That was all FEMA money, right?
No.
it was state.
That was state money.
Oh,
That wasn't
state.
FEMA. Yeah,
Okay, that was
State gave
state.
it to us, partly because if we would've built a town hall, it'd have been 25 to 30 million.
Right.
And this is gonna cost us, with that other property, maybe like 10.
Yeah.
And it's a great building, just needed a little renovation here and there. The other priorities would be, you know, obviously the pool, we got money for now, or well, we're getting money for now.
Haven't seen it yet.
Haven't seen it yet. We have had we have had some good discussions, one being this morning, with the grant administrator, and they're just about ready to be done with the environmental reviews, which is great. And then once all that goes, and they can, once the check marks get checked off, then they'll give us the money. Okay, we're getting there. We're really close. You know, the water tower, that's a big one. The North Water Tower hasn't worked even before the end. Right now, like everyone can see, if we have a main break, we're pulling everything out of the south tower. Once that's empty,
There's no water.
there's no water. So for me, and I know I don't wanna say this, but as a town, that might be a bigger priority than.
Yeah, granted.
Times Square also, there's hazards that are there. We need to redo all the pavers. We need lighting down there. We have plans. I just met with someone this morning actually, to put in they're not patio lights, but they're similar, that are pretty bright, turtle friendly of course. So he's gonna send me a quote on that, so at least, this is a priority here. I mean, they're all priorities. We just gotta find the funding for the priorities. You know, we got town hall done, we got the, CBDGR money to do the pool, to do the tower, and do lighting down Old San Carlos. We have 2 million to do this, so hopefully we can get that done. I was more reassured yesterday, with the RMP that we can get it done for 2 million. Yeah, I mean, and then all of our roads, you know, I get emails every day about, you know, the patchwork on the roads. Well, we do have some money to do it, we just gotta get it.
You're talking about the side streets, not a.
I mean, our road was
Not
terrible
as terrible.
and we were without water the other day,
What?
so I said our road's terrible and we didn't have water the other
Yes.
day.
So there, I mean, when you talk
You know.
priority for the town, I mean, I can't speak for the council, but there are a lot of priorities out there. But I do know, I mean, Bay Oaks will be open soon. We have a fitness court, which will be covered, here coming up. I know that's not a lot, but it's what we're gonna have for a little bit. And, I'm confident that this can work. I know Andy's town manager's really pushing us to get this done, as a major priority because we do have money towards it. So we're gonna try to make it work as best we can. So I don't know if you wanna.
Yes.
Well, and I mean, if you look at the big scale of things, of all the infrastructure work that needs to be done, this is not a priority. I mean, it's
So all of this,
great to have for during season and everything, but it's compared to water or sewer lines or things like that, it comes much lower on the list.
so is the town of Fort Myers Beach responsible for repaving all of those roads that have been torn up because of all of the, you know, the infrastructure construction? I'm speaking personally because I live in the
Yeah.
midst of all of that. So is that coming out of the town budget, those
I
repaving of
think
all the roads?
that's coming out of the stormwater, if they're just patching.
Yeah, it's.
Well, they're patching now, but the idea is that and especially like in Shell Mound, all of those roads are
Oh, yeah.
torn up, but
Oh,
the
I
idea that once everything is already now underground, that they come in and redo all of the roads.
I think that's part of the stormwater
Yeah.
grant.
Okay,
On the certain
and that's a
streets, not all of
grant,
them.
that's
Not all of them,
Not all.
but the ones that they've torn up and they've done re-piping and
That's-
all
yes.
that
But
kind of thing.
after Helene and Milton, I mean, yeah, yours, Barbara, I know yours is bad. But
It
there's other
is.
ones that got washed out, you know?
Completely.
Helene came through and loosened everything up, and then Milton came and just washed away everything. So
Yeah.
we spent a lot on gravel so far just to try to patch, and we're constantly, and I get it. It's a big thing, you know? We're constantly getting emails about, I don't know if Karen is too, about the streets, and when are we gonna start redoing the streets, and yeah, when we, again,
So that,
had-
so that funding, that stormwater funding, was that funded through a grant or was that funded through town budget?
No, that
Or
was
both.
CDBG, or how do
that
you
was
say it?
before I started, but.
Oh, that goes back to the original stormwater.
Yeah, that was tier
Um,
one, that they've always called tier one.
That was partially a grant and partially our funding.
Okay,
So I
Capital.
think it was like, yeah, capital funding.
so it was like
it-
almost a match kind
A
of
match
thing,
kind of
okay.
And even
got
that
it.
was done in, I guess, stages, I like to call it tiers, but it's all tier one.
Right,
You know, there's other parts of Fort Myers Beach that are on like stage 2 and stage 3, so.
I think the disheartening part and the hard part to wrap your head around, and it's, I mean, we all get it because we live here, that it's so overwhelming and there's so many different projects to do, like in our own houses alone, much less an entire island. But then the idea that we have this $1 million and we've seen the grants go away, we've seen us lose grants because we could not get the work done in time, and it's like, it has to get done. We don't want to lose the grant. And it becomes not a priority because there's so many things that have to have the island function. Like I said, our road is terrible and we were without water for hours the other day. It sucks. My kids are like, I'm like, don't flush the toilet. Like, I mean, it sucks.
yeah.
But, you know, it's just hard to, like, comprehend all of it and figure out, like, what, you know, what does get done first, but how do we not lose the money? Because then the money's gone. You know, it's a lot of money to
And we're
us,
continuing
you
to
know?
push forward on it, and, you know, we've tried twice now to get it done, both have been rejected.
Right.
Yeah, when you add the other layer in too, that we have to go out for bid, we have to go out to RFPs, we can't do it
There's
ourselves.
so many rules.
Right.
There's
Yeah.
so many rules and believe me, they want nothing more than for this to expire.
Right.
We're
Of
just,
course.
you know, and we're just
Yeah.
like Energizer Bunny trying to get everything
And
done.
we asked for a longer extension, and they only gave us till August 31st.
Right,
John?
But, we're pushing forward.
I'm trying to put this together so it's not the can of worms, but I'm not good at that. I just open it.
Is it about the pool?
No, I'm a coach, so I always want my team to focus. So I want to bring it back to Bay Oaks and just ask a
So we're talking
simple
about the priority
question
of Bay
that's not a simple question. We have so many developers that haven't even pled their case yet. The naughty phrase of public benefit, does it have to be on the property they're going to develop? Or can we show this beautiful thing that we can't quite afford? And just get that in the conversation. I don't know if we can, yes or no, legally, yes or no, do it. If we can procedurally do it, if we have the policies to do that, but we do get, and I apologize in advance to our vice mayor, we get in the weeds about the bathrooms, and we get in the weeds about looking through a building. And those things are gonna be wonderful, and they're gonna be these architectural, I think, beautiful buildings, whether we love them or we don't love them for our own reasons. But we have a park and a fitness area and a true community center that we don't seem to be able to fund. And I look across the bay, I'll do this in a backhanded way. I look across the bay at towers being built that are already sold out, and one or more coming our way. Can conversations be had in the early conversations that we would love to have this beautiful place, but we can't afford to do it, but with help we can. I know it's not a simple question.
no, and I think where that comes into play
Mhm.
is through the impact fees. And so we're restructuring the impact fees right now. So for example, Seagate agreed as part of their public benefit to whatever that restructuring looked like and whatever that percentage looked like, they were all in.
Yeah.
So, but we have to restructure them because of the way they're set up now, which were set up, I don't know, 30 years ago. They don't have all the right categories anymore, so we have to restructure it, we gotta put in the right categories so that we can use that funding for things like this, because you've got certain lines that can be used general, and then there's other lines that can only be used for, say, sewer infrastructure, water infrastructure, you know, those kinds of things. So part of that meeting that we had a month ago with the consultants, that's part of their job, is they are restructuring
Yeah.
our impact fee structure so that we can pull the money from the right funds and not have IRS issues and government
Right.
issues and everything else. So it is underway,
Yeah.
but we're probably 2 to 3 months from having it finalized.
Yeah.
However, every developer that is coming in, part of their deal is they have to agree
Oh, sure.
to whatever this is going to be. And it's a real unknown for them too.
But are
And
you
this is
asking
all
for like an
retroactive,
impact
so
fee or
one
like
of
a
those
bonus
are-
on top of that?
They're
Yeah,
all
that's-
having to
that's what I
comply
was
Yeah.
from,
Yeah.
is that like from Ian onward, or is, how far back does that go for a?
Probably just from Ian, because
Okay.
Ian is the disaster that took out all of these buildings that
Yeah.
make these lots available.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I was gonna
And
say,
if-
we didn't have these big, like, even with the roads, like, we didn't have all these washouts before the storm, so
That's right.
we had
Right.
road impact fees too, we had gas tax, whatever you wanna call it, but not enough to redo everyone's road, I mean.
Right.
we're-
I don't think that was really the question though.
Oh,
Well, it was, cause it answered a lot,
Okay.
but
There's a
now
way to get there.
Now I'll be a simpleton.
Okay.
Proactive goodwill through something like the Friends and showing what we want to build and showing what we want to have and at the same time messaging, but we just can't have that. And the way that there may be a road to get that is through some incredible proactive goodwill.
And the problem with, and I don't mean.
Well,
to
not
be
relying
negative,
on it, yeah.
Yeah, but we can't even get people to step up for Friends.
Yeah.
None of us can, we can't be on it.
Right.
If we're on BORCAB, which is part, it's an advisory committee to our town council.
Totally
So
separate.
none of us can be
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
It has to be separate.
Yes.
We have the paperwork done,
Yeah.
but we don't have the board of directors or anything else set up,
Don't have
and
the bylaws, nothing.
bylaws, nothing. So we
can I
need a
put a-
group to do
Can I
that.
put a challenge down to our group to bring 2 names to our next meeting or before?
Mm-hmm.
I have one that's a yes. I don't wanna say the name in the record, cause
Okay,
this person needs to be approached officially.
Yeah.
And I have another, and they live on the island and thrive at Bay Oaks when it's open, and of course, they swim.
Mhm.
But, you know, they're retired and want to be impactful, but not to the point of sitting at this table. They would
Right.
rather be out doing it.
but that's,
But
I
can-
mean,
yeah,
that's the
I
kind
mean,
of
can-
people we need.
I am
that's
laying
what the-
down-
That's what a Friends is, it's
I
a, it's
am-
a financial arm,
Right, it's the
for-
fundraising arm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean,
And
I
it's
am
an
laying down the
advocacy,
challenge
yeah.
to all of us that within a month, we all bring 2 names. We could bring 2 no's, but we could try.
Mm-hmm.
And truly bring a couple of people each. Because,
Well,
because
and I-
once that is established, it's another road to what my simpleton question is.
Right.
Is if that looks very legitimate, and it is very legitimate, then there's more of a willingness to look at it if you're the group with funds to make the community better.
But I think to your point, John, earlier, you were saying, you know, you need almost a hook or something that will entice people to want to be involved. So the visuals, the graphics, this is the plan, this is what we want for the pool, what we want for the grounds. And that package really sort of has to be coalesced, I would think, to make people understand why they need to be a member of Friends.
Right.
And what is the objective of Friends,
Mm-hmm.
to go forward, to say, this is what we're advocating for. Because to ask 2 people, but they're saying, well, what does Friends do? Well, what is the purpose of Friends? Because I don't think
Yeah.
that we've been able to articulate that. Years ago, Friends existed and was successful because we didn't have, we had Lee County recreation center. It was before the town became incorporated. So when the town was incorporated, the Friends Group advocated to keep this a beach, complex. But we just need another reason for why people need to be involved and supportive of Friends. So I don't know where you get that
Yeah.
coalescence.
Well, I think
of-
that the visual, getting it out there in social media, and not just the visual, but this is what we would love to provide. Here's where we are in the process, and here's why we're not quite there yet. Because reading that,
Yes.
somebody
Yeah.
is gonna say, oh, well, I know how we could do this, I know how we could do that.
So would that be?
Because
a-
there's a lot of people that are inspired right now to talk about not being able to get to dinner on time. And if we put out the positive with a question for solution, then we made every effort. You know,
So would
I've
staff-
gotta live in the ideal, I don't care what anybody's trying to do to me.
So are you
In the
saying,
positive.
John, that that would be the staff's responsibility to get that visual out there, to put it on the town's website?
Or
to
at least
put it
an
on their
ask,
Facebook
cause we can
page?
all make it as viral as we can.
And then we
bet.
can share that, you
Yeah.
know, in other words, if it's on Facebook, we can share that, so my gosh,
Yeah.
look at all that we want to do, but we
It-
can't, so let's get on the bandwagon.
I would guess it would be pretty viral pretty fast, and people will lean in and have their opportunity to complain about the next thing. That's okay, people just some wanna complain, some wanna help, some wanna wait till you're done so they
We
can
get it
use it.
anyway, might as well be called Bay Oaks.
You know, yeah, I mean, but that's everything, that's
A
everything,
picture is
so,
what we need. I
Exactly,
mean,
the
a
graphics, the
picture, it
visuals.
says more than anything.
Yeah.
If we had a picture of your vision for the pool, I've never seen what you guys are thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, I've heard talk about a splashy thing.
Well,
and-
I don't know that we have any.
We don't have any.
We don't have any architectural
We don't have the money
drawings or
to-
anything. We have to
See,
pay an
that's the thing, if
architect.
we
Yeah, and
don't
with
have-
that-
if
we
don't
will
have a
though, I mean,
picture-
part of the CBDGR is the design phase of it.
Right.
So we'll get there real soon.
that's
I'm
what
very
we want.
visual, I get it.
and
I
without
get it.
saying his name
need a
out loud, I
picture.
think,
Yeah.
I know of an architect on board that would probably do a couple of dream plans down to a reality plan. And then everybody has all these
A
visuals of,
concept, yeah.
wow,
Yes.
we're gonna get a grant for this, and we'll have to build the pool the way that it's granted.
So for instance, we did the same thing with Newton Park. We had, who came in and did that one? Who
Yeah,
did that session? I can't remember.
I can't remember.
I can't remember. Anyway, we
It was
had,
like a workshop that we
yeah,
had
we had a
with
group
the
come
lane
in,
planners.
it was through FEMA, actually.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the,
Well, that was,
Dover Soul?
oh,
no,
what was it?
Not CD, I keep thinking CDVG.
no, the ones that,
R2P2.
R2P2.
Came
That's
in
it,
and we
R2P2.
we put it out, we had 2 nights, I think it was 2 nights of visioning sessions, for Newton Park, and I was thinking we'd get a lot of people
Well,
with
it was
input.
Newton Park, it was Times Square,
Yeah,
it was
Yep.
Old San Carlos. I think was it those three?
They were urban planners.
yeah.
Yeah, they were,
And
yeah.
we had a few people show up, but not many, I thought we were gonna have more, that, cause everyone wants Newton open, they all have an opinion.
It was
But
actually
we had a community
productive.
visioning session where
Yeah.
we basically designed, which I think we all agreed that was a great design.
It really was.
You bet.
And now we have money for it, that we can put that design into place. So,
Yeah.
we,
Can we do something similar? That's what we were looking for.
Yeah.
Well, we did successfully with Newton Park,
Yep.
the plans are ready. Can we do that for Bay Oaks?
As soon as we get the funding for the drawings and things,
Yeah.
we can,
and it's gonna happen,
which is the art.
the whole thing, it's not like Bay Oaks,
CDBGR.
the redevelopment where it was what, 10 years ago we started this process. This is
Yeah.
gonna happen fast.
Yeah.
We want it to happen fast, we wanna get the pool open.
Yeah.
We're all sick of hearing,
Yeah.
when's the pool gonna open, so, yeah, we want as much input as we can, but once we have those, we need people's to show up as well, so.
So you're saying that there's really nothing that you can put in your website, the town's website, to incite individuals to become involved as friends of Bay Oaks?
No,
Because there's
nothing
no
Just
visual.
plan.
just the big projects right now are tough, but
Yeah.
for
I
friends,
think
yeah,
we
we
can-
can,
Yeah, I mean, once a plan and a visual and things are out there, we can take it upon ourselves to spin it to, here's how you help. If you wanna
Right.
help, if you wanna see this, if you'd like to have a picnic back there, here's how we get there. It doesn't happen tomorrow. You know, that delayed gratification is what people are not into anymore. But that's too bad. It's what we have to be.
It's
I agree
it's
with
too
you.
quick, and we, you know, there are developments in this town that are gonna take 10 years,
Yeah.
12 years, whatever it's gonna be, and we know that. But I think this is attainable to get open sooner.
Yeah.
Now that we're gonna get the funds.
So I have a question. So I know that there's a couple of architects out there that they have done gratis kind of designs, but for 501c3s, not for government. Can we accept that as a government? As a town, can we accept gratis?
We have
That would be
501(c)(3).
a great question for Andy.
Right. Yeah, I
you know.
don't know the answer to that. I would well, even as a town though, we can accept donations. It doesn't have to be a 501c3.
Right, that's true.
But we have the 501(c)(3), it was set up. Can we not go through that?
No, we could, but I'm just saying that we,
But it's the town
We
that's
could-
building, you know, that's getting all the funding for the park and all that
So
kind
the
of
501(c)
thing.
would have to receive the funding and do all that too.
well,
It would have to
You're
flow
just talking-
I
directly.
think
You're
we have
more- you're more
architects
talking in-kind.
that will do this for
I'm
us.
talking just
In-kind,
like
I
an
agree with you.
in-kind donation, just to get visuals
Yeah.
out there of what we have, what our thought process is.
Yeah, and if the town can't, then again, it kind of goes back to the legitimacy of the optics of that Friends.
Of that
And
Friends
we need to have
organization.
that. I mean, that's our foundation.
Exactly.
We really
Agreed.
don't have.
Right,
Because I think there are local architects that would say, hey, give me your ideas and I'm gonna, you know, whatever they have to do for their tax or charity
right.
and time, report that because they're giving it to a 501c3,
Mm-hmm.
and then the friends come here or to a council or just to Andy and staff
Yeah, I
and
mean,
say,
look at
you know,
the
it's,
women's club
we
was
don't
all
have to
gratis.
invent any of
That
this.
was all in kind,
Right.
you know,
So
the
we
women's
have-
club was all in kind,
I wish I
so-
had my house and I was here all the time.
Jeff, you've got
You would be
the
so
plans
tired
in
of me.
your office.
up
It's
there,
okay.
up here.
Yeah, he's got a whole layout of what, it's the
That
first
was
time
so,
when,
that's so old, none of that is happening.
well, at least it's a baseline to give it a
But if
architect.
you put that out
Oh,
there,
for this
Michelle,
project?
and
Yeah,
then
we
that's
have.
all people see.
Yeah.
For the
And then when it
amphitheater?
doesn't come to fruition, then,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, do you
Yeah.
have problems to deal with?
Are you talking about the amphitheater?
No, just the walk path and where the 4 pickleball courts will go and
Mhm.
just,
That's all been on the website for
Yeah.
years too.
Yeah.
Cause I know with pools,
that's-
when you wanna put visuals in somebody's head and not just the dream ones, attach them to the costs. If there's 3 of something, you know, the need, the want, and the dream,
And the wish.
well, it is, I mean, those 3
Yep.
things, something's gonna happen inside of
Yep.
those 3 borders.
Right.
And I think we can get some people on board that'll just help us with it. And they're not gonna do the plumbing and construction drawings for nothing, but the visuals of what a facility could be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm getting on the phone as soon as we adjourn.
Yeah,
so.
and even the conversation we had this
driving to
morning
a
with the
certain office.
facilitator was, you know, you get to put like for like as far as replacing the major structures. We can't build a massive building over there with that, you know,
Right.
$3 million building and then a waiting pool. You know,
Right.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
It's got to be the footprint of that.
Mhm.
We can add to the outside
Mhm.
and add to it, but the main, I'll say it again, meat and potatoes has to be the same.
Right.
but do we have any kind of designs on that?
You'll
Of
be
what
amazed.
I've not seen a one.
You'll be amazed at what fits in the unused part,
Oh yeah.
in the unrequired part of that
Right.
footprint. 50-meter pool. It can be 2 lanes, I don't care. But it fits.
Yeah.
It fits, it's usable.
Mm-hmm.
Swim up juice bar fits. I mean, what does the community want? What you put in your juice drink
The
is up to
community
you.
wants many things for that pool. They
Yeah.
always have. I mean,
Yeah.
they've always wanted,
and that
the lap
comes-
swimmers only want it for lap swimming.
Right.
The,
It's every aquatic center.
Everybody wants their
It's
own
every
gender.
place.
yes.
I'll
So,
anyway.
the only one's nice and come in and just have fun are the water aerobics.
Yeah. It all
Play
fits.
nice.
It all fits in the
Like the
footprint.
good old
No, I'm
days.
just kidding.
yeah.
No,
The
I'm
good
just
old
barking.
days.
Yeah. So,
And play nice.
I mean, you ask some people and they may want a whole water park, which,
Yeah,
you know, but is that gonna,
There was
Fill
talk
the
of
need,
that
so.
too, that's right.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
A
a lot,
lazy
a lot of
river.
people comes, I mean, the summer we make probably most of our money with kids coming into the pool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, and they love the slide, they line up for
Slide
the
is
slide,
huge.
you know,
They're
like
adorable.
they like the, they're adorable.
They are.
Most of them.
The little kids, they just have, they're all lined up
You know,
and
we,
ready to go in.
we had the obstacle course, but when we had that in, then people couldn't lap swim, so it,
Yeah.
the pool is a lot of, I mean, look at Howie, he barely got in the
Yeah.
water, he read the
But
whole
we-
time, he
but
was
we
there,
got-
so.
But we got
Uh,
it done. It wasn't like optimum, but it
Oh,
was
for sure.
serviceable
Yeah.
for the
So
community.
this
and-
one,
exactly.
I mean, just going back to it, there's gonna be a lot of uses for this pool,
Yeah.
we know that, so.
So
And-
the DRPS or DRMG
GR
or
or
whatever.
Yep.
Personally or something.
ABC.
B2, R2,
So
D2.
just cutting it down here to get a picture of the pool,
Yeah.
right? We need some seed money to
So-
draw the picture or to have this visioning session, and we're waiting for the
MP?
DRXX money.
Oh, CDBGR.
Yeah, whatever,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep, that's.
DRMP is the
You
Yeah.
have to have the money.
Oh,
DRMP is the
okay.
architect for this.
We
big
need
building.
money, is what, I guess I'm cutting through all this, right? We just need a little bit of money to do these envisioning sessions, so that we have a picture, so that we can throw it out to get people excited.
Yep,
Yeah.
and we're
Yeah.
this
Right?
far from there.
And once that CDBGR funding comes through, there is a whole segment in there for design.
Design and planning.
And we're all invited, right? To
Uh-huh.
Yes,
the,
but yeah.
It should
It's
be
gonna go
open to
quick,
the
though.
Can we
public.
put it within a day of BORCAB, please?
Yeah.
But that's selfish, so
Okay.
I can
Yeah.
do it on one.
Is your house not finished yet?
Mowing the lot this afternoon. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's
So yeah, I don't know
not
where we started with this conversation.
Yeah, but, and
Yeah.
I caused it, I told you it was a can of worms. And I'll finish it. I have a count right now of, since December 1st, 30 teams that would have already trained here and rented space in the pool and stayed in our hotels. Since the
Except
beginning
we
of
won't have
December.
enough hotels
So
to
we don't
house
have,
them.
do we have the hotels for it?
We have them within reach, and we have hotels that are willing to work with,
So maybe
with
next year.
groups.
Maybe next year,
Cause it's that,
cause we've had.
that's
I
the
mean,
holiday training season,
Yeah,
and it's before our season. And then as soon as our season is over, there's open water
just
training
had-
season, but they need a pool too. So,
we just had something
will
else
come.
that,
You've got
some other
You'll
festival
see
that dropped
See
out
that,
because we didn't
yeah,
have enough
which is
hotel
great.
rooms.
Oh, the, boat races.
Yeah, the boat races.
Mhm.
yeah.
just,
And quite honestly, even with the ones that are in progress right now, like Best Western is gonna open, and Lani Kai just opened, that barely puts us back at 50%.
I don't think it does, I
I
think
don't
Yeah,
it's
know.
before
47.
Margarita.
47%?
You're talking about available hotel rooms.
Occupancy rate.
Ah, occupancy.
Since pre-Ian, yeah.
And then,
That's still
then
just
there's
50%.
nothing
It's at
Yeah.
44 right now
For like-
without those open.
3-4
year?
years.
Oh,
But even
3 or
if while
4
that's being
years.
built, these teams will be eating in our
Yeah.
restaurants. And
Unless
then they'll be
condos
staying
come
in our
back
hotels.
and they're for rent and, but there's no
the
other
weather
It's the
was
chicken or the egg,
hotels
let's
on the
get both
docket
going.
right now. Once the
'Cause
Wyndham,
Most of them are the condos or the, what they call the interval ownerships, that
Right.
kind of thing, yeah, wow.
right, so the only real hotels that are coming back, Lani Kai just came back, but it's not in the count yet. And Best Western's coming back in another 2 weeks, but that won't even get us at 50%.
Of what we had before Ian.
Right.
Wow.
boy,
I have a question that has nothing to do with Bay Oaks, really quickly, since we're talking about occupancy. Did Red Coconut count, like, did their lots count for occupancy or no?
No,
Okay, cause I know Margaritaville wasn't open before, but now it does count, so I'm wondering if that kind of was a one for
Yeah,
one
'cause
switch.
it opened after Ian.
well,
Right.
it opened, it's in the count already, so
Now,
right now
though,
we're
not
at,
before,
yeah,
right?
right now we're at 28%.
They did count, they
30%?
did count those rooms in though, as
For the
projected
new
rooms.
one though, right? Like since Ian,
Since
that's
the
our
pre-Ian
current
one,
occupancy
they
rate.
included those in there, cause it was being built.
Oh,
Yeah, but we're, like, right now, we're only at maybe 30%, and then when they include Lani Kai and Best Western, it'll maybe get us to 45%,
right.
but then there's nothing.
Well, yeah, like Wyndham has no potential right now, like you can't just.
No, there's
renovate.
nothing being built, there's no groundbreaking, there's nothing being
Or
built.
like Neptune.
Neptune is a timeshare.
Oh, it's a timeshare.
Yes.
But the ones that were real hotels, like Wyndham and Outrigger, like.
Wait a
kind of
minute,
like
no,
their-
Right.
Barbara, I'm wrong. Neptune is not a timeshare. Neptune is hotel, EIBC is the timeshare.
Okay, so I thought it was a
So
hotel.
Neptune, when they break ground, but that's still 2 years out
Yep.
before they're ready to go.
So in the meantime, people come and go the same day, cause I've seen it.
We have day
Every
trippers,
day.
but yeah, we
Uh-huh.
love day trippers.
But we still have, no matter how many rooms we have, we still have a downtime where even the rooms we have aren't. And that's when so many things can be scheduled
Right.
with this big plot of land. Cause teams will come here, events will come here, and certainly
And the
training
hotels
trips will
would
come here.
love that during the
Because
downtime
across
to
the
bring
street,
people
there's a
in.
beach.
Yes.
And every kid and every family will put up with hard training if they're walking
Off-site.
across to the beach after.
Yeah, off
So
Exactly.
we have to, I think it comes back to maybe our biggest first responsibility is to get the Friends running. It's established, but we have to get it running. So then we can actually help the town. And
I
that's-
put a
that's
flyer
kind of what
up
we are.
for the senior softball.
Yes,
I got one person said they might be interested. One person out of all those
Out of
guys.
40 some.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Well,
know, it's.
honestly, I'm on the nominating committee for Friends of Lovers Key, and it's the same way. We've had 4 open board positions for 2 years now that we can't
really?
get filled.
That's even with Lover's Key. Wow.
Yeah, and most of us should be off,
Yeah.
according to our bylaws, we should be off the board right now, but we just keep going and we keep extending year by year by year because we can't find people to commit to be on the board.
Which is why now
Are there-
with Friends of Bay Oaks, if we can establish it ahead of time, then we won't run into that where we're trying to get ourselves off,
Right.
hopefully.
Right.
Are there parameters for membership of the board? Cause I don't think you could do that with a
For the
501c3.
Friends or for,
For Friends of Bay Oaks, like
I don't think you have to live on the
residency
island.
or anything,
No, I don't
for
think so.
that, you shouldn't have to be
No,
limited.
no,
to
no,
You
no,
just
no,
live
there's no
wherever.
So
parameters for that.
our recruits just went nationwide.
They could go anywhere.
Okay,
Alright.
perfect.
Yeah.
I got a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
but I
families
mean,
that use Bay Oaks for after school that don't live on island too, right? Or is everybody,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
they're just getting them
But they
to
don't
be
have, nobody
involved.
has to live on the island to
Perfect.
be on the Friends
Awesome.
at
No,
all.
no.
So, but they have to be present
They just
Right.
have to
for
like it.
Well, they-
meetings and
yeah,
that
they
kind of
have to.
thing.
Yeah.
And we, yeah, like Lover's Key, we even do because of traffic right now, we do all of our meetings by Zoom.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just because nobody wants to sit in the traffic and go to the Welcome
It's
and Discovery
crazy.
Center and try to get home again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
It's
yeah,
bad out
so you
there
just
right
have
now.
to, yeah,
It's
Yeah.
terrible.
you just have to broaden
I don't have any more.
how you operate.
If you,
I have some good news for you.
I like good
Everyone,
news.
actually.
Jeff?
We did some interviews, yes.
Did you have anything else on the tax status?
Oh,
Oh, are we
Yeah.
through with the
We're not
staff
through there
We
yet.
haven't gotten
I
there.
think we're
We
all
haven't
still
finished
on
his
the staff
report
liaison.
Yeah. I wanted to
we
get
had,
it moving.
we
But
conducted
yeah.
interviews
Yeah.
for the, Bay Oaks manager, and we want a good report that we did hire somebody. An external candidate, he's got a lot of aquatics experience, Parks and Rec experience. He was aquatics director at Deerfield Beach for a while. He worked at the pools here as a director, or as a manager. He was a director of aquatics at a couple places, so he's got a lot of pool experience. He was excited that we're building a new pool, and I think that's really gonna help us out and you know, cause I'm not as pool as I am rec. So wanted to hire somebody that can really take charge of that. I mean, he knows all about all the new things and, you know, filters and all those. So it'd be nice to have him involved. His name's Neil Mathis. Him involved, he'll start March 3rd. Have him involved in, you know, almost the project management. So even though we'll have a project manager, you still have to oversee, and they'll have questions and all that stuff as we go. So we're excited. You know, he does have a lot of rec experience too, working with groups of people and of all ages.
Where does he live? Ish,
I
like, not on the island,
not on the island.
okay.
Oh,
No, what we pay, I don't think we can afford it. That's why I don't live here.
really nice tent.
But Fort
At least
Myers
my lot.
area somewhere.
Eric, yeah, he lives in Fort Myers. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got a
Okay.
couple kids, which is great.
That's
Some young
awesome.
kids and
Okay, good.
a family. So
Congratulations.
He's from the area. He grew up here. Did he go to
Maddox, did you say was his last name?
Mathis?
Mathis.
Yep,
okay.
he's from Estero, so he's local.
Nice.
So he's excited to do, the field trips with the seniors and everything and get going. So he'll be involved in these for our next meeting, of course.
Good.
He'll be running the meetings once we get him up and up to speed. So we're excited for that. He's good. He's got some good ideas. He's excited to be down here. And he used to come to the pool a lot when he was growing up. So
That's great. We can take a little lead out of your backpack and put it in his.
yeah,
That's important.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, that- it is.
that
It's good.
focus on this,
Super
you're
important.
not, you don't have the ability to have.
Right.
I mean, you have the ability, but you know what I mean.
All right, so I think that was it. No other staffing changes that I can think of.
Can I ask you about the Easter egg hunt?
Yeah.
Where's it gonna be?
Here?
On the baseball diamond? Oh.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
And we used to do it around the building for the older ones, and on the field for the younger ones.
What is
Around
it?
which building?
Field.
Oh, can you still do that? Because of, I mean, I don't know, construction
It's
and-
just all outside. Yeah, we don't have a lot of construction going on outside.
Okay, cool.
That grass is looking a lot healthier.
The
This?
19th.
I know.
It's the 19th, right, that they're doing it?
The Easter egg?
It's the 12th, right?
12th.
It says the
Oh,
12th.
12,
Yeah.
okay. I know they were looking for volunteers to help.
The 19th, we're at Taekwondo tournament.
Okay.
Yep. Maybe we can get the Easter bunny to show up again.
Nice. And coat of many colors, that guy.
As soon as they dry off.
I think that is it.
Oh, are the kids, at the after-school programs, are they doing anything in either the Shrimp Fest parade or the
Not so far.
St. Patty's? Nothing?
Did he do it last
You
year?
had something that I wanted to
They did
ask
it.
him.
They did it last year.
Ed,
Mhm.
Well, I know we did
Like Bay
4th of
Oaks had a
July.
float last year.
Huh?
Bay Oaks had a float last year.
Well, that was for 4th of July.
Yeah, 4th of July.
Ah.
No, Shrimp Fest we didn't.
I don't think so. I think the only one that we did last year was 4th of July.
Okay, I remember a float.
Yeah.
Just a lot of sleep since then. I don't
Yeah.
remember what it was.
I think Mount
And he
Mount
has
House had one
access to
too, but I
it.
don't think in Shrimp.
well, you saw it
Yeah.
in the minutes,
Probably not the
right?
Shrimp
You
Fest.
look at the minutes and you can see
Mhm.
what his vote was.
No, but
You-
I-
you're just
if we are
asking
gonna do it, I mean, it's coming
for
up,
the
but
advisory.
probably still
You
get
can
in.
give the
But
advisory report.
You probably have a better
He
chance of
doesn't
getting
have to,
in
it's just that
the,
that's when we
Yeah.
push.
St. Patty's.
St. Patty's
the
Day.
St. Patty's Day.
So you could-
Because that's being run by the
you can
women's
give
club.
the
Yeah,
advisory- you
maybe
can
for the
give
adults.
advisory
When's the Shrimp Festival?
at the next council meeting.
March 8th.
Yeah, but I just.
Yeah.
8th is the
Yeah.
parade, 8th and 9th is the Shrimp
Bring it up.
Festival, and then the next weekend
Correct.
is
Actually,
Yeah.
The St. Patty's.
St. Patty's on
I
the
forgot her
15th.
name.
Actually,
Diane.
You know.
Yeah.
Council said they're gonna take floats for the Shrimp Fest up until the day.
Oh, that's right, she
Yeah,
did
she
say
just
that.
said that.
Yeah,
As the
Um,
president, as the chair.
yeah, so I didn't know if anybody was planning to do anything with that or.
Why'd you wanna be in it?
Right.
I am in it, but not for
Okay.
Bay
From
Oaks.
BORCAB. And that would be one of the things.
No.
No, once we get
We're gonna be
Neil
shrimp
on board
tacos.
and we
Doesn't
get
have to be.
somebody that can really organize that,
But
Yeah.
Would be
our
good
staff
to-
is so small right now.
bring him in.
Okay,
But,
I just thought-
you know, if you actually.
Sorry, that took a long time, but.
No, that's great news.
good discussion. Okay,
Okay, are we finished with the
Staff liaison.
Yeah.
tax status?
No, we haven't
Uh,
gone
the-
to the pool yet,
Oh,
Betty.
oh,
the site plan for the pool, I think we kinda talked about,
Yeah, we
but
talked
there is
about
none.
it. I did send out a
Okay.
map to everyone, hopefully you all got it.
Of the
At least
existing-
an
The aerial
overview
view?
of what it is, so I don't know what they're necessarily, I mean, it's up to you all, but I don't have any plans or anything of what we're thinking of, so. I don't know, I know the last time you wanted me to send out the.
Yeah.
I don't know if you wanted to talk about it at all.
Well, are you saying that there's going to be someone, that will be responsible for coming up with the concept plan that we could then discuss? So is it premature for us to have a conversation
Could be.
until such time as the design group? Because that's how
It
they're
could be,
gonna get
I was asked to
funded.
put it on this agenda, so.
Cause Ed's got it up on his screen here, and it's the one that you sent, the photograph,
Yeah.
actually, aerial photograph. I mean, that could be the point of departure in terms of, you know, inciting the friends group, to say, as you say, John, but I think before we go forward, we need to have a design of what we're looking forward to.
No.
This
At
is
this
what's
point.
existing.
Right.
We're painfully aware.
Yeah, oh, I know.
Yeah.
I wanna push it forward, but I hate to bring it up always.
And we're happy to have you do that.
Yeah.
So if somebody, even if they're silly cartoon looking drawings, all the way to
Sure.
like a an architect's rough drawing, if those can get to you, can they get pushed out like as you get them?
Yeah.
So everybody can just see each other's thoughts, cause we can't do that legally, but we can send stuff to you
Yeah, I can get that.
and you can push it out, and then we can have more to think about.
Yeah, if
Before we
anybody
meet.
has anything they wanna put down on paper, just as
As
an idea,
ideas.
sure.
I'll just start
You're-
firing about
you're
9 of
looking
them
for the
to you.
pool,
Do it.
right?
I'm just talking about pool
Yeah.
and potential
Do it.
aquatics
I'll have a
and
bigger
all
office, a
sorts
little
of
more wall
stuff.
space,
Do
so
we
go ahead
have
and
a
send
pool
them.
contractor awarded?
No.
Would
No.
it fix it? No, we
No,
haven't.
we're, yeah,
That's what we're
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 still-
behind all
We're
this.
still waiting on funds.
The
Okay.
CDBG.
even know what we
Because
have.
then my new pool, my pool contractor did the design.
We have to look to put it out for bid,
Okay.
of course,
Yeah.
like everything else, and do the.
I just don't wanna
better-
have my pool, my house done before.
Yeah.
It lapses in this one.
Yeah.
You know what, you
But-
probably will.
But
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a lot
Yeah.
of membership and gonna need to rezone for a business.
Good luck.
Uh,
In the middle
We'll
of
all
what
come to your
neighborhood?
place.
Yes.
I'm not gonna say it out loud.
Tell you later.
My neighbors all get free membership, so.
That'll be
Public
okay.
benefit, huh?
Well, yeah.
Oh.
Now
What
you-
is this tax status thing? Is it reportable? What does that
It is
mean?
reportable, so we can take donations as a town,
Yeah,
and I should have wrote it down, of course, it's, Adam actually knows it by heart. The status, it's not a 501c3, it's something else, it's 70 something, which we can, as a town, collect donations. And then the question was, because it's not a 501c3, can they report it on their taxes? And yes, it is reportable, on their taxes.
So you can give like a.
As
Okay.
a contribution to a
contribution.
government agency.
Correct.
Yes.
So it
Okay.
is recognized by our IRS that it is a tax deductible contribution. Wow.
So
But
that was the
think it's-
question last month about, is the 501c necessary? Because that was the thing, but then
That's
also.
why the conversation came up.
Right, but if the town can accept donations, is anybody gonna go out there and solicit donations?
That-
Cause that's what the Friends of Bayonne
Yeah, that's the thing,
does,
like,
right?
that's exactly what their purpose
because
is.
the town cannot solicit donations.
Right, so
Yeah,
then
so
it's
it's-
still, even if you can accept them, it doesn't do you any good.
No,
if you're
yeah, I
gonna
get it,
go
I'm just
after 'em,
saying,
you know?
somebody asked a question, I said it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, it wasn't directly, I was looking
No,
at
no, I
you,
know.
but it's really not.
No, but that's the point, is we
Have to
we
look
all
somewhere.
are busy, we do this,
Yeah.
you know, we don't have time to go solicit, yeah, we can attend the friends, you know,
Yeah.
Oh, I'm really
Bayonne
bad at getting donations, it's
events,
not my
or,
thing.
we could even be on, you could even be a part of it, you just can't be on the board of the Friends of Bayonne.
But the Friends of Bayonne would still be beneficial, cause then that is when you get the people that are going out and trying to get the donations.
They have
Mhm.
events, they
It's
have.
really
Right.
necessary, because if you think it's hard to get funds to a 501c3, try fundraising for a government
Oh, yeah.
agency.
Oh,
For
God,
sure.
yeah.
I'm sure.
Cause the first argument is,
We're already.
I
I
pay
already
taxes.
donate every
Yeah,
year.
I
Exactly,
pay my
exactly.
taxes, it
Yeah.
should cover
Yeah.
that.
So
Yeah, I'm
that's
not
a-
saying we
that's
get
a
rid
tough
of one,
game.
I'm just giving,
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
agreed, that's what I was just saying, like, to flip it a little bit, not that we have anybody to fill those voids, but just saying.
So,
And Jeff, that would play in too with, if someone donated their
well, I can't talk to you.
design, work for the new park or the pool, wouldn't that be considered a donation?
in-kind donation, I suppose, yeah.
yeah, definitely
Donation.
in kind.
Yeah,
So
good
wouldn't
point.
that answer Karen's earlier question?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% sure, I would think so, but I'd have to find out if,
Yeah, that was my question, can a government accept that versus just a 501c3 or something else? That's an Andy question, he would know.
yeah, I mean, what I know is we can get donations, monetary, even in-kind, we've had people donate kayaks and things like that,
You've also gotten sponsorships,
and sponsorship.
right?
Well, the foundation,
So it should be,
big money, too.
it
Oh,
should
yeah,
be-
yeah, for sure, yeah, those,
So then it should not be an issue.
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask Andy. when I see him I'll see him Tuesday.
So yeah, that's a good point. I don't wanna, no one ever wants to assume anything, but I would assume since we can accept donations, that would be just in kind.
Well, it could be a cash donation too,
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah, it could be,
yeah.
could be gift cards, it could be anything.
But I guess, you know, the beauty of the Friends organization, or any 501c3, is the you know, nurturing of these donors, is the, you know, warm and friendly, you
Yes.
know, we'd love for you to participate, oh, you've given us a check, and here's a lovely letter thanking you for that check. The town's not gonna do that. You know, there's no warm and fuzzy little person
Right.
in your office is handwriting a letter to the person who's been kind enough to donate something, to say, thank you so much for
Well,
your
maybe
support.
Nicole
Yeah.
would.
We are,
But
we
maybe
do,
th- was
we
there
do ask to
somebody-
recognize them at the council meetings.
Okay,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
It just wouldn't be any
Most-
different than
most say
like
no.
your ball field, didn't Scott's do a bunch, donate a
Right.
bunch of things for the ball field?
That-
It's
yeah,
basically
that's
the same thing,
sponsorship.
isn't it?
Exactly, the same, yeah.
Under the guise of a grant.
What
Yeah,
about?
that was a grant,
Okay,
That was a
so
grant.
that's a little different.
but we had companies
Mhm.
that donated quite a bit of time and
yeah,
material to the ball,
Yeah.
ball field,
Mhm.
and they were recognized. And they'll,
Well, and it keeps coming up, getting the friends involved,
mm-hmm,
and, 'cause that is the warm and fuzzies,
mm-hmm.
you know. Thank you, and, to have that participation.
Mhm.
Okay. Have we covered most of that, I think, up there?
Member items?
Yeah, I was just looking for anything else. I had all these notes on the public parks and, okay, member items and reports. Joy, do you wanna start with that?
Well, I wanna echo Michelle's comment about having porta potties for at least temporarily by the pickleball courts. Even though you can walk up here, it's still kind of a hassle, until April, when the gym opens, right?
I didn't-
April, I wrote it down.
Is that the end of April, or is that the beginning?
I wrote April.
April.
Yeah. I wrote that down.
Nothing more specific.
April 30th
I
is
think
still
as
April.
everyone can attest with construction and remodeling, there is no date.
The April is pretty specific.
There's no date. It could be, for all we know, something could
April
happen. It could be
Fool's Day is
July.
good.
Yeah, do not
You know, I'm
first.
just, I never put a date. They said they should be done by April.
Did they say what year?
No, they're actually working hard. The first
It's
company we
been
had was
taking like 8 months to do
nothing
my
like
signing,
that.
so.
And I like the sign out front.
I do too,
I
actually.
love the
Yes.
sign.
At
It
first
looks
I
so good
thought
at
it was
night
gonna
too.
be taller, I don't
It
know
can't be.
why.
Yeah,
It was gonna be taller.
probably
I don't know. I
regulated.
was like, it's shorter
When we
than I thought.
initially got it and did the permitting, it was gonna be taller.
Okay,
Since then, our sign ordinance has changed,
gotcha.
and
It
we're
looks
not
nice.
we're not exempt from that, or we don't want to be exempt. We want to be like everyone else.
Yeah.
So we had to cut it down a few feet, but it will be lit up hopefully soon.
But-
Kirkwood was here today looking at it to see what they needed.
But did I remember recently that the council approved the extension, the height of the Margaritaville sign beyond what the sign ordinance dictates? So if Margarita can get a taller sign, why couldn't the town?
That was like a matter of 6 inches. It wasn't,
Pretty
it wasn't
expensive.
like a big sign.
We try to
That
not,
was it,
or as a town, we try to not do too many variances. That,
right?
'cause, I mean,
Yeah. I mean, they had like
Can't
5
just-
different variances that came up, and they were so inconsequential that I don't know why that it even had to come to us. It was that,
Wow, really?
yes,
That's-
but
wow.
because it was, you know, whether it was 6 inches or, you know, 3 inches, and oh, that one couldn't be because of the water main underneath it, and
Wow.
so they moved it over, and so that's why they had to come.
Wow.
yeah.
I thought it was gonna be a lot taller than just 6 inches. That's interesting.
There was
Wow.
the differences in what they
Wow.
had to come for and
Yikes.
what they had to go through to get that all approved was,
Oh, my God.
Insanity
And the
to me.
expense of making a new sign just for that amount of height. Wow.
So the sign will, our sign will be lit up.
Okay. When?
Okay.
He was out, actually, he
Wait.
just called me, Lance from Kirkwood just called me, to tell me about the quote, so.
Oh, so you haven't gotten the lights up yet?
No, it's gotta be trenched in, there's no,
Oh, I see.
it'll be, the interior, it lights up interior, so, and there's
Careful
a,
digging under that ground.
or no, it doesn't, it's got lights on the outside.
it had lights on it though,
It
did
does
they,
have lights on it.
were they just temporary? Cause it has lights on it when you go past at night. The
Really?
Bay Oak sign on the front, is that what we're talking about, the one
Estero
on the street?
Boulevard?
I took a picture of it with the lights on.
I thought those were your car lights.
No, I don't think so.
There is
Second
not
guessing
electric
now.
running to it unless it's solar.
I thought I saw solar lights there, but maybe I did
Hold
not.
on,
It could have been reflecting off of a different light too.
maybe.
I live in
Well, that's
South
interesting,
Bay.
because you're saying we have no
When I come in the
lights.
morning, it's not.
Yeah.
She says that she took
I
pictures
tell
of the
you,
lights.
The lights, yeah.
I saw someplace where it said that the lights were on.
I thought we talked about that
Yeah.
before, that the
I
lights
did
were on.
too.
No?
Then they must be solar, cause I'm having him look at it.
I swear, I took pictures of
You
it.
sent it to me.
I sent it to you, yeah, I'm gonna look on there, Jeff. I sent it to you and Andy, right?
You said, well, great job on the lighting?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
And
sign
you-
looks
And
great.
you said what lighting?
Sign looks great.
Oh, you know what? I think it's my car lights.
That's what you thought, Jeff.
Now that I look at it,
So
cause
it
they're
was
not,
all lit up. You just have to stay there all
Yeah.
day.
yeah, they're not coming from the lighting overhead, it must have been my car
Yeah.
lights hitting
Oh,
it.
No, I'm pretty
wow.
sure we have to get.
Oh,
It may
okay.
have been received as
Well, it was
harsh
effective.
sarcasm.
It was effective.
Good job with the lights.
Yeah. But you noticed it.
I want that picture.
Well, I saw it, or your lights hit it, I guess. I took a picture out of my
It's a
car
good
as I was
thought.
sitting in traffic, so, there we go.
Anyway, it does look really nice. It matches,
Yeah.
Bayside and everything too. So it looks good.
I don't have anything else.
Okay. Ed, how about you?
I don't have anything. I know I asked Jeff, last meeting about, Bay Beach, Park at Bay Beach, if that was open to the public, or if that was part of their development agreement when that development was built way before I lived here.
Bay
And
Beach,
then-
you mean Bay Beach Road?
Yeah, Bay Beach.
Oh,
Lane.
that's all their private property.
That's
Right,
private
so I
road,
asked you to
too.
look
Yeah,
at,
they sold.
so I asked about the development agreement when that was first built there. And then also, Michelle was correct that the condo that was torn down, is that Redfish, Buccaneer maybe? And that entire golf course land is available back there.
It's available?
Well,
No.
I
For
don't know if it's
sale?
available as far as for sale, the condo building is for sale, but I'm just saying that's empty land.
No, it's not.
No,
It's
that's,
being used by the EBIA and it's owned by the EBIA.
Yeah.
It's being used,
Yeah, we've got paths back
I'm
there.
not talking
no,
about the
there's-
park, I'm talking about directly behind the condos that were torn down.
Correct.
And then there's a chunk of the old golf course that sits there, and it's a pretty decent sized piece of land. But
There's
the,
a condo that was torn
Yeah, I
down
know-
back
I know
there.
where it
That-
is.
That's not part of that property.
Yeah,
And we're
but
just thinking
the
that,
condo part.
So
The
the
golf
land is
course,
for sale
course
right
is
now?
all part of
the
the
condo
EBIA.
part was for sale. I don't know what's behind it. Apparently, there's a park that I can't see that's behind that, cause I literally rode my bike in there, so.
Wow.
And just my whole thought process is, you keep getting flooded down here. There's nothing at the south end. It all started with, talking about pocket parks and bike trails. And I'm just pointing out that there's a big chunk of land there.
Well, and to expand on that, what you did last month, if you remember, you made the motion, which was adopted unanimously, to say we wanted to be able to have these kinds of properties available as a public benefit option for any developer to say, look, this is a pocket park, while you may not want that for your property because you're gonna put buildings on it, buy this for us to use as a public park.
Or don't, I mean, I don't even know who owns it. It looks like it's part of the old golf course. There's that pond that's right by a stairwell and then behind that.
Wow.
Because it
The
was
entire
a,
golf course
it was
is
a little
part of
golf
the
course.
EBIA.
It was.
Yeah, and
back
it
in the
was
day.
a
Period.
modified executive is what we called it. When Trumpman still had it.
Right.
That was the 9-hole golf course?
Yeah, I know.
Pardon?
Was
Well,
it
I
the
lived there
9-hole?
too. I mean, I rode my bike right into the property.
Oh, it was
I know.
totally
The,
interesting.
the
the
park,
whole
the
golf
Bay,
course.
Bay Beach Park is,
Very
like
small.
you're staring at it and the
I think
stairwell's
we
to
had
your left.
only
That park
one
is to the
par
right.
four.
Oh, wow.
Directly in front of you and directly where the condo was, there's open land.
Right, the condo, of course, any of that area is up for sale, I guess, I don't know. But the entire golf course, I'm just saying, the entire golf course is part of the EBIA,
Yeah,
the whole thing.
it was a modified executive.
It was called the Island Sands, that's what was torn down.
Right,
Right,
right.
so the
Yeah.
islands, that whole property there,
That, that's not a part of the EBIA.
correct, that's
Okay.
the part that Ed agree with, that we were talking about, that's available.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and it's got a nice entrance right off Lagoon there.
Do we
And,
know how much?
No,
Nice
I
area.
have no idea. It was brought up because we talked about the survey with the pocket parks in different parts of the town.
correct,
And
Right.
honestly, if there was some pickleball courts down there, that would maybe save, free things up here.
Right.
Sounds like a lot of pickleball players are from the south end. And it's just another way to keep cars off the road, I guess.
Mhm, absolutely.
Great idea.
I can,
That's
I'll
a
do a little
challenge.
research and see how much they're asking for it.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
can
it's
take the
certainly
call
worth
up to my
checking out.
office.
Yeah, it would be worth it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, 'cause-
I got a couple of realtor friends, I'll find out what's going on with it.
Good.
Well, it's
Wasn't the
listed.
one next to
I mean,
Newton
there's a-
Park,
there's a sign
wasn't that
that's
like
listed.
17
It is
million or
listed?
something?
Okay,
11.
11 million?
But I
thought it
still
was
think there's
17.
land
17? Maybe it was
behind it
17.
that's empty.
I don't
It
know.
might be owned by somebody, I don't know.
Alright. well, I'll do a,
So if it's $1 million, that'd be great. That's
Yeah.
the max they're gonna give us for land trust.
I'm guessing.
Whoa.
That's
All
doubtful.
it's not gonna be-
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
okay.
You bet. Be worth,
I have a friend that can do it.
No, I mean, I'd love to expand on the south end if we had some public benefit land or something that we get, that they need it, and, you know, they're majority of our residents are down there.
you bet.
Right.
So I'm not, definitely not opposed to looking at something down there.
But even a lot is going for $1.2 million now.
I know.
Right, that's not on the water,
They're not
Hmm.
selling.
No,
Yeah.
It's,
no.
it's stale right now.
That's something, food
Yeah.
for thought for you.
It would be nice.
yeah, just something I was throwing out there that, I don't know if
Remember, we
we're,
take donations.
you're right, as this
Ed, I'll-
committee goes, I
Ed,
don't know.
I'll take that one with you, we'll get a couple, figure out what's going on back there, and see if we can get the property lines,
Yeah.
where it is.
Well, we can look it up
coming
on
up to-
LIPA. That's-
Right,
Yeah,
but anyway, yeah, it was just an idea for the south end of town, there's nothing for park space really down there unless you count beaches.
Cause I even think that
apparently
part
the
of,
park that
even
is
when you
down
come
there is
off Buccaneer, the minute you turn this way, that's not even town road. Buccaneer Lagoon is a private road.
Which one is?
Buccaneer
You're
Lagoon.
talking about that back road that just goes in dead ends?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's private, but there's a common area there.
Oh, is there? Okay.
And right at the end of that common area would be to the left if you're
Yeah,
coming in.
I've been back
Yeah.
and, cause they're having some issues with debris pickup back there.
Kinda like where the, little landing strip used to be, which is, Linnell.
Yeah, it's not far from Linnell.
Pardon?
It's not far from Linnell.
They used to have a
really.
landing strip back there?
Oh, yeah.
Fun would that be?
Yeah.
Screw the traffic, bring your plane.
Well, that's one way
It's
to
a
avoid
great
it.
place to go.
Because I know them too.
Could land right there.
Yeah, heliport or helioport or however they say
okay,
it.
so who's gonna, are you gonna check, or you want me to, or? on
I would
who
only
else?
be able to look it up.
Okay,
Yeah,
that,
Okay,
When somebody does, can we
Thank
get it
you.
to Jeff so
Yeah.
it can be
Okay.
shut
That's
off?
all
I
I
have
had, but it
nothing to
was just-
report, so
Okay.
we
if-
can just go down there.
all right.
no, I'm just saying if you acquired more land on different parts of town and we talk about
I,
like a real lap pool or something like that, not tomorrow, not next year, but
Yeah.
somewhere down the
Future.
road when I'm probably not even around anymore.
We don't
Can't
have
do
to use
anything
it,
unless
just
we have more
to get it
land.
built.
You
Yeah.
bet.
Well, I think that last month, we made that motion, so I would suggest that perhaps someone from BORCAB be appointed to give an advisory report update to council at the very next meeting, talking about this motion that was approved, to say this is a recommendation that we would like to have council's support on.
Yeah, and what kinda changed since then, I believe, was the meeting about the M&P with the, impact fees.
The development impact fees. I
We
think
had
it'd be
that-
separate.
We had that last month. The impact fee where they came in and did the presentation and everything, about the categorization, or however you wanna say that. But acquiring land and that kind of thing, that's a totally different, cause that wouldn't be done through impact fees at all.
Right, but my angle was a potential development that will happen on that side of town is if it was a land donation or that development
Like
owned
Wyndham.
that land and donated that part of their land for park space. It was, so I don't know if that's separate from, like many times there's park dedication fees that are built
Yeah.
into impact fees.
But somebody's gotta be willing to donate it. And
Correct.
right now, I think with the prices of everything, I've not seen anyone willing to donate any land.
Yeah.
I mean, we even checked into the adjacent land at Newton Park
Mm-hmm.
to try to get a grant for some of that.
Yes.
17 million,
Right, yeah.
that's their amount,
Yeah.
and they're not donating it.
But what Jeff is saying is that there is $1 million that would be considered, and if this piece of property that's behind that condominium property can be surveyed and designated as a possible pocket park, that could be public benefit. It wouldn't be a development impact fee. So for example, a developer that's going to redo Wyndham or Outrigger to say, oh my gosh, this is a great public benefit. Forget about the view corridor, forget about restrooms, let's make this pocket park
Right.
happen as a public benefit for
Right.
the south part of the island, was your motion last month.
Yep.
Which I think has huge merit, and I think it needs to be, presented, to council.
And who just, a little part, but it was it Seagate that said they would put it in and maintain it?
Mm-hmm.
Was that Seagate?
That's Seagate.
So they, I mean, it does happen, and,
Yeah, Seagate's
it's-
doing that on the beach side and
yes,
everything.
Beachside, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why, and it was because of that deal, that's why I asked about, the park area at the end of Bay Beach Lane, because, I mean, that, there had to have been a development agreement on that land at one time. I look at it every day, it's right out my front window. And they're way over 4 stories, so there had to be some kind of give and take when that development was done
For parking.
for the park, yeah, or whatever.
Yeah.
Just because they were allowed to go outside the comp plan.
You bet. Okay.
Couldn't
that
tell you
a-
what year
Is
that
that the
was.
older building or is that a newer building?
Well,
Is that the last two towers?
The last one just was completed.
That's
Right,
London Bay.
Yep,
Oh, yeah, but
That
that was
did those two
grandfathered
towers.
in.
yep.
That was grandfathered in. That was
Yeah.
part of the master plan.
That was approved
Yeah,
years ago.
years
Yeah,
before,
way before I was here.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
before the town incorporated.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and way before all these.
And they didn't
Yeah.
develop it until recently, but
Right.
they had the, approval to get that last tower built.
Right.
And, even after the town was incorporated, because it was agreed to
It
in
was
advance.
that long ago, holy cow.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no,
That's not
seriously.
looking good for future development here.
Yeah, that was from 1995.
Yeah.
Good job.
Just reiterating the challenge to get the friends,
Friends
get a
started.
couple of names,
You bet.
everybody get a couple, and whether they come to the next meeting or would they need to go to you to go? Cause I wanna be really careful in how we
I would
communicate
like
that
to
sort of
stay out of
information.
it,
Yeah,
honestly, because
Yeah, he's,
so,
I'm in charge of BORCAB,
yeah, he
so I
and
don't
I,
wanna be in charge
yeah.
of the
Okay.
friends that just
so we
mugs the
could,
laws.
we could put together a physical list at the next meeting with who we bring?
Yes.
Is that the best way
You
to do
bet.
that?
I mean, I
Yeah.
can, I'll
Sure.
assist with it, I just don't wanna be,
No, yeah, I don't wanna be tasked with it, or we can't do that
Okay.
anyway, so.
We
I
can't,
shouldn't,
anyway.
But the right way to do that is bring bring names and contact information
To the BORCAB
Yeah.
meeting.
to the next BORCAB meeting.
And Becky is
Good.
the one
And
that's
we
got
compile
the,
it.
Becky, don't you have
Yeah.
really sort of all of the, like the cosign? No?
I can do the bank account, I don't
Yeah.
have anything else, but so, the question I was gonna ask is how do I know who to turn that over to? Cause it does have money in it. I'm gonna be like, okay, here you go, here's bank account information, you're now in charge of it, like,
So
No,
it
I
would probably
know,
have to
like,
get
when it's
established
legit.
and they'd have to have officers.
okay.
Right,
And then
we
it'd be
have
the-
to have
probably the
officers
treasurer.
first.
Okay, so
And a
Jesse's
treasurer.
still first on the bank account and I'm listed as the second person, so he's got all the paperwork and everything. Does not want any of it because he can't do it right now,
So if we come forward and we get a group of people,
Yeah.
candidates,
Mhm.
then what is the process of electing those officers who would
They
then?
have to do that separately and apart from us totally.
They
So
have-
they
Apart
elect
from us.
themselves?
So their role, so the Friends role would be, we have a project or a budget, we go to the Friends and say, this is our budget, this is how much money we're asking for, and they could give us the money for it.
So say you have 10
They
people
don't have a
though.
say in it, they don't have a say in the project, they are the fundraising arm for our projects and
Right.
budget.
But if you have 10 people who wanna be part of Friends of Bay Oaks, how do you determine like who's a president or if they're the
Correct.
president
They
or
elect
them.
treasurer?
The treasurer.
They elect themselves?
How do we?
Yeah,
Those-
there's
So
probably
then-
old
Those
bylaws.
10 people would, so somewhere from the previous Friends organization, there should be bylaws. Now, those bylaws probably have to be updated, so once you get the core group, which is pretty much 5 people, so it'd be, president or chairman, vice president, treasurer, secretary. Actually, I think those are the
And-
only 4 that you have to have.
It's good to have an at-large if we're lucky enough to have
And
a
an
fifth.
at-large, so then
Right.
those 5 people would elect who they wanted as president, who they wanted as treasurer, or maybe they bring them on with those skills, someone is a finance, whatever, if they're automatically that, they're automatically this. And then those 5 people, or 4, or whatever they are, they have to review those bylaws and say, are these still what we wanna abide by? Do we wanna change them? It has to be filed with the state. So it,
So those bylaws exist right now, right? Because
There's
Friends
got-
of
they
Bay
gotta-
Oaks was
They would have
created in the
to.
past?
they
order to
should,
establish.
but
Are they
whether they've been
relevant?
updated or not,
Do
or
we know anybody who
refiled.
was on it?
Denise Monahan had them, I think I might have given them to Jessie, maybe.
Okay.
But Denise Monahan was the last president, I think, of Friends. And so she had all of that paperwork, and she might have a file.
I don't guess she's interested now.
Well,
No.
worst case,
She said that she would be happy to help you all in any
Right.
way,
Get
once
started.
the Friends gets going again.
that's awesome.
She can be helpful, but she's not running it either, so she's already been there, done that.
That's good, that saves a big step, because worst,
Can we, or are we allowed to advertise that we're looking for
Yeah.
candidates
You can
for
be,
this?
you can be a friend.
You can be a Friends
You just
member
can't-
even, but you just can't
you
be the
on
board
the
member.
board.
You can't
The
be on the
voting
board.
member.
Vote for things
Right.
is the
But,
thing.
so we.
To
You can put like on
establish
your
it.
Facebook
Yeah.
group that you're looking for, or go at pickleball and like ask around, you can do all that stuff.
I already put a
Okay.
flyer together.
Yeah, well, and can we put one on the, cause we put the town, for example, that's how I got this position, can we have the town put out that we're looking to fill?
No.
No, okay.
Can
So
Bay
we've
Oaks
got,
itself
but we've
ask
got it,
that?
so we can solicit it.
Bay
Yeah, I
Oaks
think
could
we
put it
can-
out,
Like Bay Oaks can put it on their own pages, not
Yeah.
the town itself?
if you're still listening for Friends of Bay Oaks as a
We
501c3.
need to put it out as a Facebook post or something.
That's what I'm saying,
yeah,
yeah.
we can town
Maybe
crier
great
it,
if people
I think,
came to
pretty
the
well.
next meeting, which I might not be at anyway, depending on.
Yeah, and just when you're talking to them, just make it clear that
What does the ABIA stand
if you two are friends, members,
Estero,
you still
Bay,
can't talk
Improvement.
Mhm.
anything about
Association.
Oh, yeah.
policy or what's going
Sunshine.
on.
It is
Yeah.
You have to
a
talk only about the fundraising.
conglomeration of all of the
that goes on.
condos.
Now,
Yeah.
when we
That's
end
where it
this
gets really sticky.
meeting,
My
If
husband
not,
is
it's
on the
a
board.
sunshine
Oh, wow.
violation,
We
and you
own
guys
the
can get prosecuted.
57
when we
acres
end
that
this
used to be
meeting,
the golf
for example,
course
could
that now
John
has
and I discuss
pickleball
somebody who
like
might wanna
a
be
golf
on it?
preserve or
amenity
something?
and bocce and paths
Okay.
and ponds and
If it's not about Bay
Yes.
Oaks, like if I'm gonna call
Drainage and
somebody or
all that.
whatever.
We should be able to do that.
Okay.
So
Not
it's
talking
an
about Bay Oaks itself,
association.
like just
No.
about
It's
who
an
would be
association.
on the friends.
Yes.
But it, as
And
an
it has a
association,
budget.
it
I'm
doesn't
just-
own.
I'm just challenging the
Does
group to
not.
come up with
Or
names.
does
not.
No, and I've got
Chocolate
And then-
some,
cookies,
I've
but
got
they don't know
somebody
that.
strong in
And we
financial.
bought
I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna vote for
From
anybody,
the
like, it's
golf
not a
course.
vote or anything, we're
Right,
not doing
okay.
that.
And
I
for
remember
every,
years ago,
every door
All right.
on
Okay,
the
so right now we
beach
just get the
paid
listing
X
of names and bring them to
dollars
the
for
next
X
meeting, is that the
Have
follow?
you got
purchase it,
anything
and
else?
now we maintain
I do
it.
not.
Okay.
I think I've said quite enough.
Becky,
I'm good. Thank you.
Okay.
you're good?
Who did I say used to be on that?
Michelle,
On
Denise
the
and
all of my
Denise
topics
Moynihan.
are
Yeah.
covered
I'm
with
trying
the
to
other
see if I
folks, so
have
thank you.
anything in my,
Pardon?
I think all my topics have been covered with the other discussions,
Have they?
so,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Mine too.
all right, well, I just wanted to
in my
make
stuff
sure
about
that
what she
everybody
sent
was
me.
covered.
Thank you.
Yep. So, okay, well then that's, we have no public here. And our next meeting would be March,
March 19th is the third Wednesday. Because we've been doing the third Wednesday.
March 18th at noon
Thank
The
you.
here.
19th. Can I, is it, when it's set, can I officially ask for an excused absence?
Pardon?
I need an excused absence on the 19th. My kids are on spring break that week, so we're out of town.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I would have to be a Zoom as well, so you'd have to have I traveled, I could fly here that day, but I won't get here
I'm
in
not gonna
time.
be on Zoom.
Anybody else have conflicts that
Conference
day?
and-
Should we try to move
I
it?
may
If we
have
have
a
enough
conflict as
conflicts,
well.
if we can go
Okay.
later.
I mean, we can try to move it if we want. Noon is
How about the
typically open.
12th? Just
Is
one
noon
week
open?
ahead.
Yeah,
I'm the 9th to the 19th.
Well,
Or the 26th.
18th through the 19th.
I could do the
Oh,
26th.
sorry.
Well, I'm not the 19th's just bad, I can't even get on Zoom, cause I'm traveling.
I can
I
be
wouldn't be
here
able
on
to
the
either. I wouldn't be able to.
12th or the 19th.
Pardon?
I can be here on the 12th or the 19th.
Can you on the 26th or no?
Well, do you want the 19th
26th
then?
I can as
No,
well.
it is already on.
I could do the 26th. You do the
26th, I can
26th?
be
for
here.
everybody?
26th.
Yep, works for me.
Pardon?
Okay,
The
26th.
12th is open, how about the
Okay,
12th?
March 26th?
John said he's out from the 9th to the 19th, and I don't think I can do the 12th either. I have to be at my kids' school that day.
So I would just need you to be able to have a quorum to okay me on Zoom on the 12th.
well,
The
are we
26th
talking
I could
26th?
fly in, 26th I could be here.
Let's do the 26th.
The 26th is, it can work.
The 26th you could be in
26th?
person?
At noon?
Yeah, that's better.
Yep, let's do.
Okay. All right.
Yay, that really helps me out.
That was the goal.
I'm going out of town sometime that week, but
What do you,
I don't know when for sure.
We have agenda items,
I'll
what
work
do
it
you,
out.
friends discussion?
friends discussion,
Friends discussion,
and
yes.
then also the, park on the south end of property lines. What we find with the ownership of all that down there.
And the CDG.
Yeah, I'll keep
Alphabet
giving you
soup.
updates.
CDGBR.
That's a
Right.
clever
We
name.
Right.
most
Let's hope we
likely
have
by
some
then
friends
won't
here.
have the grant yet, but, so it's gonna be the same report as.
Oh.
We're expecting the pool to be done by then. March
No, I was
26th.
gonna
Becky.
March
request that
26th.
everyone arrive with a shovel and a hose and we should have the pool done that day.
Okay. All right. Well, along with the shovel.
Then I get emails.
You will. People are gonna complain on Facebook 100%. Either way, it doesn't matter.
So we will have friends. Okay. If there is anything further,
Betty, do you wanna have somebody appointed to
Oh.
give an advisory board,
yeah, when is the
Report to
next
council?
council meeting?
May, or March 3rd,
Pardon?
March 3rd.
March
is the
3rd?
next, first Monday of March.
You buy off lot.
Do we have somebody that's available that would wanna give a report on March
I
3rd
would not desire to do
for the
it.
council?
I did it the last time.
I wanna do that.
Anybody?
Betty, you do it.
She's voting.
I probably can't, that's another medical date.
Ah,
Can we do it?
March 3rd is the.
John
medical
would,
day.
I think.
I would, but I
Can we
just
do
have
it?
that window if there's something around the 26th.
Yeah,
Get
No, I
Ed-
mean, can we do it?
Get
You think
Ed
we can
to
do it
give
via
the
Zoom?
report. Ed, how about you giving the
Yeah.
advisory
What's the
report?
date?
We have to take turns.
yeah.
Share, yes, you're good.
I'm just saying, I don't know, I'm not even-
To see if we can.
Yeah, I mean,
Just sort of
nobody's
give
gonna
a
go on.
synopsis
We
of
can do it
what
that way.
we've all been doing the last several months.
And we can work
And
on
especially
both
the
of those to
idea
just
of
get
the
it
pocket
concise and
park
get it
and the
done.
fact that we are really hoping that council would look very seriously
We
at
haven't
it.
voted on
Could the
anything,
chair
right?
or the
Yeah, I
vice
was
chair
gonna say,
write up like an
what do
outline
we-
of what you want
We don't have an
presented?
update for
for
them yet,
that.
do we?
This is the town council meeting on March
What are we
3rd.
updating
What are we
about?
gonna say?
I
Yeah.
know, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I guess what we're updating.
Okay,
You got my number.
I think there could at least be 2 or 3
that
bullet
would be
points,
great. Thank you.
just of what we met about,
let
because
them
we're
know
gonna
what
be,
we're doing.
I
We
think
have
we're gonna
to-
be rolling on some things as
Okay.
soon as we can.
Wait, I think we
I
have
was
to figure
just-
out what Ed's gonna
Yeah,
present,
we are,
right?
what are we gonna
Unless
do?
you know what you're gonna present.
Yeah, here we go.
Open that, see if that works. How old is that thing?
Okay,
Ooh, there it is.
Oh, you got my number?
So Ed's volunteering?
we have a plan.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, then I'd entertain that motion for adjournment.
Bingo.
I'll move to adjourn.
Okay,
So moved.
Second.
We got a second?
we have a motion, we have a second. All in favor?